I'm very hopeful to like this. To look at it from a different, fuller perspective as an album. So hell yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. I remember this one. I usually criticize songs like this, where it's just like one main motif being repeated over and over again as a chorus. But it works pretty well here. How heavy do you want the breakdown on the first song? Yes. It's a pretty cool hook. I'm sold on it. I like this hook a lot. Sweet.
But you'll never wear the crown.
I don't remember this song. I don't believe I listened to this. The singing is so like soft and chill compared to the rest of their music. Offers an interesting contrast. I'm not a big fan of this chorus. I like that it's different, but I don't know, it just doesn't meant for me for the rest of the song. Holy shit. That's ridiculous. Oh yeah. Okay. This part fucks. That was my favorite part of the album so far. 2 songs in. But that was really good. Okay, I honestly like that song a little bit more than the first. Not a big fan of the chorus, but still really like the song overall. It's an interesting little riff. The screams are not quite doing it for me, I'll be honest. Okay, I remember this chorus for sure. Very rhythmic. Their style is so fucking like industrial with this album. I haven't listened to them before, so this is my first. I love when the song just tells me to shut the fuck up and listen. One thing you can't take away from GAG is their fucking undeniable grooves. It's interesting because the structures so far, except for maybe Kerosene, have been pretty like basic. Verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus. But the contents are quite a bit more complex. I like it. Strikes a balance. Cool. That was a pretty awesome song. I think that was my favorite so far. Forsaken. I definitely have heard this song. This was a part of my Try Not to Headbang challenge. This song fucks. I think for me, it's like I like that the choruses are breaking up the intensity a bit, but personally the style with which the vocalist sings doesn't quite work with this melody in my opinion. It's just not my thing. Not my thing, the choruses. But this shit is insane. They have such climactic endings to songs that are like in the beginning of the album. Yeah, that song is pretty insane. Okay. Okay. What? What the fuck just occurred? Inside my ear canals. Okay, this song feels like flipping through different radio stations. There's so much variance, but it's also random. Of course, it's not random, but it sounds a little bit. That song was the equivalent of scrolling TikTok or something. You know, just one thing, another thing, another thing. At least on my first listen, it felt way too random. But the parts were actually super cool. Okay. Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ballad. Okay, you can get behind this chorus. That was super sick. I really love the singing there. Very different track. Splits up the album, I guess. Ooh. Holy shit. Very, very interesting vibe from this. I like that it splits up the album. I like that it offers a different perspective. And it's actually like a good song as well. That's it. That was a cool song. That was the best one of the album so far. This is a very clearly conceptual song. It's a little bit experimental. Curious to hear more about this song, like the influences, the theme. It's the most out there song of the album for sure. And then it just ends. Alright. Hymn of Decay. This was the first single for this album. I can't do with these choruses. It's not my thing at all. It's their melodies and the vocal, the scream sing. It's just not doing anything for me. Tell me to die again. Ow! Forgot how the song ends. Maybe a big breakdown. Oh yeah. Sweet. This feels very different again. Some variety on this album. I expected it to have much less of it, but it's actually quite different. I mean, the connective tissue of the album, which is this stuff, is very much present in every song. But it's what they do around it that's a bit more interesting.
Live in fear, die in despair. Live in fear, die in despair.
Oh, give it to me. Give it to me. Cool song. That was one of the standouts in the second half, for sure. Groove City. Crazy. As usual for this album, everything's crazy, everything's happening at the same time. Okay. They really like to just have you not know what's around the corner. Keep you on your toes. Okay. That call out. Those triplets. That's the end, really. How do I talk about this album? I feel like I'm too like I'm not smart enough to enjoy it. I had fun with this album, absolutely, yes. Did I like it? I'm leaning towards a no in terms of whether I like this album or not. If I were to give you a yes or no answer, I generally feel like the sound is so specific that it kind of bounces off of each other, and you end up with a lot of very similar sounding songs, and maybe the 42-minute duration could have been shortened a little bit to save time, but also to make these songs a bit more unique. Speaking of unique songs, there are a few on this album that I would consider unique to the band, and just in general. I thought Genocide was an interesting song. It's I still couldn't tell you whether I liked it or not, but it's an interesting one to say the least. I really liked Wraith because it was a bit more of a simpler melodic metalcore type deal. It also was just an interesting little way to split up two halves of the album. I would say the ending of the album is quite good. Like, it doesn't drop the ball or anything. It keeps up the energy, it keeps up the intensity, and then ends on a nice big note with God is a Loaded Gun. The reason I said that I'm leaning towards a no is just a lot of these pieces are really awesome and sound really cool, and, you know, I had fun with it. But when you put them all together, the glue just isn't quite working for me. Again, maybe I need a specific understanding of this type of music to enjoy it properly, but me, a simpleton that I am, I was just a bit overwhelmed with a lot of the parts on these songs. I did want to speak a little bit more positives as well, because I feel like I've been way too negative about this album. I do think it's quite an interesting exploration of the more industrial side of metalcore, or the more industrial and more intense side of metalcore. There's a great deal of experimentation going on, and some of the guitar parts are absolutely outstanding and phenomenal. It's always very cool when the guitar almost like sings to you with certain choices that they've made with the writing. I think instrumentally this is a really awesome album. I think vocally it's also really solid. It's just, you know, whether it's my thing or not is not really relevant in this case. I do really respect what they've done here. Just in general, it is quite unique from a lot of other things because of its industrial nature, and it's perfectly represented by that rusty, dirty cover art, because that's what this album kind of sounds like to me. It's a little bit rough, it's a little bit metallic, and I thought that was represented pretty well through the music as a whole. So yeah, there are a lot of positives about this album aside from the negatives. Just so you don't think I'm hating, but it is what it is. I still enjoyed my time with it. I don't regret it one bit. This was an interesting experience. Great American Ghost with the album Tragedy of the Commons. 42 minutes, 11 songs down. What do you guys think of this album? Let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed it more than me. And if you didn't, hope you enjoyed your company with me listening to this album together. But that is all. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your attention. I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.